Hey everybody, my name is Carrow Brown. I am the Operations Director for Otherworlds Inc. And if you are watching this, I have great news for you. The Pledge Manager is finally active. For those of you who may not be aware, Otherworlds Inc. held a Kickstarter for a webcomic referred to as Glacias, which is a story about a boy and his best friend Dragon as they try to bring worlds together. And not only did we meet the objective for the Kickstarter, but we exceeded it by 600%. Holy honey snaps. So since the Kickstarter ended, we know that you've been asking us a lot of questions about when do we get the survey, when is the Pledge Manager going to be active, and the question is, it's all happening right now. The reason it took us until this long to be able to give you guys this stuff is because we had to go back, double check information, make sure it was all correct, and then update some of the information because unfortunately the manufacturers that we were working with, they would say one thing, then we'd find out it was something else, we had to update all that. And in addition to that, we could not actually go into the Kickstarter and update the weights ourselves. We had to go through the people at the Pledge Manager and have them update on there. And so a little bit of middleman stuff going on there, but we got it all sorted. It's happening. It's active right now. So before I switch screens and I show you guys how to navigate through the Pledge Manager, there are two things that I want to talk about real quick. The first thing is that if you watched the previous video where I talked about what was going to happen with the Pledge Manager, you heard me talk about that if you had a tier, you could downgrade and get some credits and then use that to apply to add-ons. That was a true statement with the Pledge Manager that we were originally working with. However, with the one that we have right now, the tier that you got is what you have. So there is no downgrading for additional credits to get other items. Basically, you have your tier and you can add to it, but you cannot downgrade and get more. So just want to make that clear before we dive into it. Now, the other thing that I do want to mention is that if this is the first time that you heard about the Glacias Kickstarter and you wanted to support and be part of it, but you missed out on the thing, great news for you. We actually have a link where you can go in there and you can put yourself in. Now, one thing I do want to touch on real quick is that you will not have access to as many tiers or as many add-ons. And the reason that we're doing that is because we do want to honor the people who were with the support of Glacias at the very beginning. And in order to do that, some of the stuff that they had access to, we just won't have access for the late backers. So, but at least you'll still be able to go in, put your name on the thank you page, get a plushie, those things will still be there for you. So we're going to switch screens real quick. You're going to listen to me talk and I'm going to show you how to navigate through everything and then we're going to come right back. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so when you click on the link in the survey, it's going to take you to a website that looks a lot like this. And I say a lot like this because there are going to be some changes between what you're seeing on my screen and what you are going to see. So at the time of recording this, this is kind of the backstage setup. This is us going through and making sure that it's all good to go and that it's ready for you guys to come in here and get your stuff. Some of the changes that you're going to see is obviously where it says hello tester and the contact info and even this email address. That's all going to be different because this is not live. This is just us using this to make sure that it is ready for you to use and do what you need to do. Now, once you are here and you're looking at stuff, you are going to see your reward tier. It's going to list off all the things that are here. It's going to include all the other stuff. And at this point, you're going to come down here and you're going to select what country that you are in or an address if it happens to populate for you. So then you're going to click next after that. And it's going to take you to this screen. You're going to see obviously it says upgrade. So what that means is that if you decide that you have your current tier and you want to go to another tier, there will be some that are available for upgrade. Now, not all of them are going to be available for upgrade, but the ones that we have made available are going to be visible here for you. So you can come through and you can take a look and see which one you want. Now, right here, if you click on the included items, you can see what other things are involved right here. So there's little images to help you out with that. And you can kind of peruse, see if that's what you want. And if you decide that it is, all you have to do is just hit this upgrade button. If you don't, then you can go ahead and click on next up. So once you hit that button, it's going to take you to this page. And this is where you're going to be able to go ahead and put in the name as you want it to be on the thank you page when the publication comes out. I know some of you had questions in regards to what name is going to appear, if you could put somebody else's name on here. This is pretty much where you're going to be able to do that at. Do make sure that this is exactly how you want it to look, spelling, grammar, count, all that jazz. So when you type in your name or somebody else's name, do double check it and just make sure that it is. We are not going to alter this at all. We're just going to cut and paste it into the page. Okay, just for the sake of doing this right, I'll put my name in here for you and then I'm going to hit next. And then it's going to take you to the add-on. So all the stuff that we were able to unlock during the Kickstarter, thanks to your wonderful support, is going to be available here. So if there was some additional things that you wanted to get on top of whatever it was that your tier gave you, this is where you're going to come in and you're going to get it. Obviously, I'm going to add this plushie because I need to have the plushie in my life. On the bottom, you are going to see a miscellaneous tip jar if you decide that you want to contribute just a little bit more. We appreciate any support that you give to us. It really does mean a lot to us. But anyway, so everything that we have available is going to be right here. You can peruse. You can also take this time to select colors if you have, like, for example, if you want this hoodie in white instead of black. And then same thing with the shirts. And once you go ahead and make your choices, you're going to hit next. So once you get done with that, it's going to take you to the create your address. This is where you're going to be able to tell us where you live, so that we can make sure that we are sending this stuff out to you. Again, do make sure that this information is correct, because if it's not and it goes out to you, it's going to be sent back to us. So if you live on street and you accidentally put drive, like all that jazz, so just make sure that that's correct. Okay, so just for the sake of having to fill this out and show you guys how it works, I went in and I filled in some random information on here. That way, because obviously if you don't fill in all of these boxes, what's going to happen is you're going to get a notice that says that, hey, you forgot to fill in this box. So do make sure that you have everything filled in, and once you do that, you're going to hit create address. And then at this point, you're going to hit the checkout, and this is where you get a chance to review all the items that you have and make sure that you have everything square and as it needs to be. So you're going to go through here, you are going to check all this stuff out, make sure that it is right. It includes all the wonderful things that you want. This is also going to be the spot where you definitely double check and make sure that your name is spelled right, or you're using the correct name. And then if not, you can hit this little edit button so you can change it. And then after that, you are going to check and see what add-ons that you have, and then you're going to confirm your address. And the only thing that you should be seeing on here is going to be the add-ons and the shipping costs. That's all you're going to see, because you've already paid for everything else that's in part of the tier, so you're not going to be paying for that again, but you are going to be paying for anything that you add into your cart along with whatever the tiers are. So you'll see the tier price right here, which is going to be subtracted from the total cost, and then you are going to see the add-ons, the shipping, and then any tax. We do have to put taxes on there because the IRS is an unforgiving God. So once you're done with that, you're going to hit pay, and it's going to have you put in a card. Alright, and then once you do that, you're going to get the verification for the card that you're going to be purchasing with. I'm just putting in like a random number here. Don't actually use this number. And then you're going to hit, yeah, so okay, and then it's going to confirm it, and then once you get done confirming it, all right, now when you finish actually confirming it, you are going to get this order complete thing. It's going to have a receipt. It's going to show you everything that you should be getting along with all the details. Now, I would definitely encourage all of you to have a screenshot or some kind of record of this page, because if something goes wrong, we are definitely going to need the order number in order to reference it and go and find what's going on. So the more information that you have in case something goes wrong, the better. Do confirm what items that you are getting. So for example, if you thought that you were getting the figure and you don't see the figure is on here, and you come and ask us like, hey, where's my figure at? We are literally going to come to this exact same page, see what your order was included with, and then we are going to see if what you're asking for is in there or not. And if it's not, then it's like, well, it wasn't part of the cart, so on and so forth. Now, one fun thing is that until we generate the shipping report, you can come back in here and you can click unlock and modify my order, which means that if you decided like, hey, I changed my mind and I actually wanted to add more stuff, or maybe you wanted to upgrade or anything like that, that's when you're going to be able to do that. So if you have about, I want to say 2 weeks to do this, but we will definitely, before we finalize that report, send out a reminder email basically saying, hey, we're about to finalize the report. If you've got everything that you want, this is the time to make sure, and all that wonderfulness. So we're going to come back to this page. I do want to direct your attention to the FAQ. If you have a question or a concern and it has something to do with the pledge manager, click on this first, and it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, and it's going to answer some of the basic questions on there that will be able to help you. And I would encourage you to come here first, because if the pledge manager is able to fix it, then let them fix it. Otherwise, when it comes to orders and trying to alter an order or anything else like that, you can go ahead and send us an email. When we send this out, there will be an email for you to contact us on here, or if you happen to be in our Discord, you can poke us on there too. I mean, however you want to do that. Also, we will have links to all of our social media and such down here on the very bottom for you. So once we hit that point, again, if you have any problems or concerns, just come and find us and we'll be more than happy to help you. But again, that's pretty much this demo in a nutshell.
Alright, so that's how you use the pledge manager. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. At least I like to think it is. Now, if you have a thought or question or concern, or there needs to be more clarification, down below in the comments for the video, you are going to see an email address. You can go ahead and reach out to us. If you happen to be following us on any of our social media, aka Twitter, Instagram, you can DM us on there. Also, if you happen to be part of the Otherworlds Inc server for the community, you can contact us there. You can DM PM us there, all that jazz. We try to be accessible to you so that way we can help you with any problems that you may have with working with the Kickstarter. Now, in reviewing everything that I said for this video, I do want to make one thing really clear. Typically when you go onto an online store and you say, I want this, and they charge you for it and all that stuff, within a few days it's going to be sent out. I want to make it very clear that what's going to happen with the Pledge Manager is it's going to make a report for us here at Otherworlds Inc. to send to our warehouses to get those items set up so that way we can box them and then send them out. When we do this, you're going to get a notice from us, and this is also when you can go back and change your order if you want. But the moment that we generate that report, your order is fixed. There is no changing it. So this can be for up to 2, maybe a little bit longer weeks. We will notify you when we're about to do it. So if you decide that you want to change your order, add to it, you've had second thoughts about some of the stuff you put in there, all of that, you will have up until then to change it. So again, just to reiterate, once that report is sent out, the order is finalized, and then we will send out a notice about when we are going to start sending out those packages for you guys. But that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope that this was able to clarify a lot of the questions that you may have had when it came to working with the Pledge Manager. If not, again, please contact us, let us help you, let us rectify any confusion that you may be having so that way we can make sure that you get your goodies. But that's all I have to talk to you guys about today. My name is Carrow. I work over at Otherworlds Inc, and we'll be talking to you again.